On this installment of Diecast Emporium, we're going to take a look at a Kubota machine, the SVL 90 track loader. Now, the real SVL 90 has about a 92 horsepower turbocharged engine and can lift just about 6,000 pounds. So this machine was actually made for Kubota themselves by Kubota, and on the box you can see right here, right along this edge, written in orange, 1:36 scale. This model is not 1:36 scale, and I'll demonstrate that here in a second when I pose it next to a couple other models. It is much closer to a 1:50 scale model. So, without further ado, the side of it says, if you want to pause this video and read up in here, a couple functions of the piece, while the back, if I can spin it around, there we go, has a good picture of the machine working. So without wasting too much time, let's crack this thing open. It's just held in place in the clear window box by this flimsy plastic former. But that makes taking the model out a pretty easy affair, and you don't have to deal with any twist ties, which is always an early Christmas gift. So the graphics are nice on it, but the one thing you'll notice about this piece is that it's almost entirely plastic. The only thing that's not plastic is the model or the metal base plate underneath. Everything else is made of varying degrees of plastic. So the front bucket on it, you see it has a very aggressive front end bucket on it, is a heavier plastic. The height for the loader arms, quite good. It will clear any 1/50th scale dump trucks that I have, and most likely that you have, and I will demonstrate that as well here in a minute. Dump angle, fantastic. But where this model really scores in the negatives is that you can't really achieve much of a cut angle because the machine is just, it's not heavy enough to support its own weight, basically. Also, they made no attempt whatsoever to hide these screws, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, at least up on the front, because if you want to make some custom attachments for it, the bucket is very easily removable by just undoing those screws. Last thing for the functioning test here, you can see we're using my temporary review area of my bars countertop here. If you apply a good amount of pressure, the tracks will roll just fine. On the back, of course, on the real machine, this is where you would open the hatch to service the machine. That is also plastic, and it has a nice Kubota logo on it. And as I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, the model does have some nicely implemented decals for the graphics. Okay, so size reference. Here is a Universal Hobbies Komatsu CK25 track loader, which in the real world, again, is a little bit smaller than the Kubota, so they actually work out well. There they are side by side for your comparison. Now, although the Universal Hobbies model obviously in almost every way is a much better piece, that's the extent of the height, whereas this one will go, the little Kubota over here will go obviously much higher. How high? Well, here is a CT660 dump truck made by Norscot. I know many of you will have this dump truck in your collection, and you can see that it's plenty high enough to reach over the side and dump into it. So if you're looking for a piece that not a lot of people have, and one that's really relatively inexpensive, especially when comparing it to the Universal Hobbies one, this Kubota is a good choice. And because if you have a Kubota dealership near you, like I do, I picked this up in the parts department for under 10 bucks. So if you're interested in this, look there first. If you can't find one there, then go on some of the internet sites, some of the auction sites specifically. I know they will have it. So as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. I know this was a little bit of a short video, but again, there's not much to review on this model. But I promise I'll be back next week with some more content as always, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.